Alrighty, this is Mr. Avila, and what I'm going to take a look at today is I'm going to take a look at a problem and specifically focusing on solving an absolute value inequality. So, the problem that I'm actually going to take a look at is the absolute value of x minus 2 minus 8 is going to be less than or equal to a negative 3. Okay. Now, in this problem, what I'm asked to do is I'm going to be asked to solve and a graph. So we're going to take a look at both of those pieces. First thing that I want to do when I'm solving this problem is I want to be able to isolate my absolute values. So if I take notice here, I got this negative 8. What I'm going to actually do is I'm going to go ahead and add the 8 to both sides of my equation. By doing this, I'm just going to be left with absolute value of x minus 2 should be less than or equal to a positive 5. Now, once I get to this point, I'm going to choose to actually draw a number line here. And what this number line is going to do, it's going to help me understand what numbers and what values I'm actually going to be looking at. Because this problem says that the absolute value of x minus 2 has to be less than or equal to a 5. So I know that all the values that are going to be within that absolute value are going to have to be less than or equal to a 5. So I should be able to draw a solid circle here. And I know I'm going to be taking a look at values that are going to be less than this. So, alright, I got that right there. Now, because of some previous knowledge, we also know that the absolute value is the distance away from 0 on the number line. So I'm also going to be able to take a look at negative 5. Now, all these numbers that are going to be of a value of less than this, I'm also going to have to take a look at these numbers. So this initial graph is actually going to help me set up two separate inequalities. I'm going to set up an inequality based off of this, and then also set up an inequality based off of this. So if I'm going to take a look at the one that I boxed in red, I know right now that x minus 2 has got to be less than or equal to a 5. Based off the one that I have here, and let's go ahead, we'll mark this as our red equation. Now if I'm going to take a look at the one as my orange equation, I need to say that the x minus 2 is actually going to have to be greater than or equal to a negative 5. I want to represent all the numbers that are going to be bigger than a negative 5. So again, now taking a look at this problem, I should just be able to easily solve by adding 2 to both sides of my two separate inequalities. Now by doing this, what I'm actually going to have here is we'll take a look at this. I'm going to take a look at my red. And if I have this correct, it should be that x has got to be less than or equal to a 7. My orange inequality now, my orange inequality says that I should have x has got to be greater than or equal to a negative 3. Now I have these two separate inequalities, but we're actually going to take a look at both of these together. So I'm going to erase my marks that I've made right there. And because this is an inequality, a compound inequality, such that the two inequalities are going together, I know that this is an AND statement. I can choose to write the word AND, or I could actually combine these, but I'm just going to leave it like this. So I'm going to go ahead and clear the screen here. And what I should have left here is I should have that x is less than or equal to 7 and x is greater than or equal to a negative 3. The last piece that I actually need to do is I actually need to solve and say graph this as well. So I know if 0 is right about here, negative 3 is right around there. I know I got 7 about here. And if I was to draw this, again, we have the less than or equal to and greater than or equal to. So I know I'm going to have a solid circle on both of these marks. And I know that I'm going to draw the line that connects them. So this is my answer, not only my solution, but also my graph. Hope this helps out.